once again, all my fellow patriots and you filthy, and I do mean filthy, leftist stalkers out there. My name is Angela Box. You're watching Angela's Soapbox, where I say what you are thinking. And so much to get to, basically all on the same topic. I don't want this video to be 20 minutes long, so let's do the housekeeping quick. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And please share my content, especially with your disgusting, filthy leftist friends, because they hate my guts. And it's fun to watch their heads explode. It really is. And without further ado, this week's plastic straw is dedicated to none other than the disgusting, anti-American, tyrannical, woke psychotics of Antifa and the violent elements of Black Lives Matter. And let me make a caveat. Not all of Black Lives Matter is violent. Some of them are protesters, but a whole hell of a lot of them are violent, filthy leftists. So this is for y'all. Let me tell you something. Dealing with these tyrant leftists, these constantly ginned up, emotional, constantly ginned up, angry about something leftists. It's like dealing with a Karen that you have as a friend. Like if you have a Karen friend, which some of us have, unfortunately. And Karen is always the girl that wants to stir up the drama. And all you want to do is sit at the bar, drink your vodka soda, chill, and have a good time. But Karen's over there picking fights with strangers. That's what we're dealing with on a worldwide scale when we're talking about the left. Whether it's the latest thing with the death of George Floyd, which, quick aside, there's not one single person on the planet who's okay with what happened to George Floyd. Not one. Not one. But yet the left is using this as a reason to divide us and put a wedge between, red state and blue state America. And if you're not out there supporting Black Lives Matter, which, by the way, was withering on the vine financially until this. And now, magically, they've got $20 million in their coffers and counting. But they're saying, if you're not with Black Lives Matter, well, then you're a racist. Can we say that all lives matter? Oh, no. You cannot say that. You cannot say all lives matter or you're going to get fired from your NBA job. Or you cannot say, I want to stand for the American flag and I do not support people protesting by kneeling for the American flag, Drew Brees. All these things are now controversial because we are run by a bunch of petulant children who only seek to divide us. And watching these riots this week and last weekend, and to think that we have blue state governors and blue state mayors who were literally arresting people for going and exercising their First Amendment and Second Amendment constitutional rights, saying we want to reopen our cities and our states, we want to go back to work, we want to get our business back open. But they were called murderers by their governors and their mayors. And yet now, all the innocent little lambs of Antifa and Black Lives Matter can riot and loot and set the whole freaking world on fire. And the media sits there and goes, yes, this is just a peaceful protest. People are just having their voices heard. And car alarms are going off as bricks go through windows and buildings explode and people loot Saks Fifth Avenue. But they're peaceful protesters. Back to you, Wendy. It is outrageous to think that these same blue state governors who have tormented law-abiding Americans are now celebrating the thugs and the human scum and debris of Antifa and Black Lives Matter. These are terrorist, violent organizations who are funded by, among others, George Soros. And now the woke Hollywood left has chimed in, which, as I said, Black Lives Matter, they've been kind of quiet lately, haven't they? Haven't had a lot to complain about. But lo and behold, this horrible, horrible death of George Floyd, which again, nobody thought was okay. And the cops were fired. What's-his-face was arrested and charged with third-degree murder and manslaughter, and I think the other three are facing charges. And his family is saying, please stop this. Please do not do this. We don't want this. We want to work in the justice system, but the angry, petulant psychotics of Antifa and Black Lives Matter are like, no. We're going to use this as an excuse to raise money from dumb, white, guilty liberals and ruin every city we can find. And notice what cities are being looted and destroyed, as per usual. Why? the blue cities, the blue states, the Democrat-run states and cities. And you know what they're going to do when this is all over? They're going to come a-calling. They're going to come a-calling to the red states and say, can you please bail us out? It was no fault of our own that these peaceful protesters, only like a handful of them got out of control, but somehow they did billions of dollars of damage. I wonder if that's going to happen next. The answer is yes. And under no circumstances should any red state or any red citizen of a red state fund or bail out these psychotic leftist states. Not a penny. Whew. You see, when Joe Biden's staff decides to bail out the protesters, when Hollywood decides to put a GoFundMe, and by the way, GoFundMe put up $500,000 of their own money to bail out the protesters. I got news for these stupid idiots. Protesters don't go to jail. You know who goes to jail? Looters, rioters, people who are assaulting people and murdering people, people who killed police officers, 45 so far by the latest estimates, but you haven't heard that, have you? 45 police officers have been murdered by the peaceful little lambs of Antifa and Black Lives Matter, the peaceful protesters. And you know, Black Lives Matter, they're all up in arms about George Floyd. George Floyd, who again, nobody is saying this was cool to do or justifying it anyway. He had meth in his system, he had heart problems, and he had COVID-19 in his system. So by the left's logic, we should reclassify his death as a COVID death, right? I mean, isn't that what we're doing now? If anyone has corona in them and they die, it's a COVID death. I mean, that's what they're telling us, right? Someone call Fauci. But again, the leftists who have for 2.5 months locked down the country, saying it's for our own good, are not doing anything to curb this violence. And it's like, but they're not social distancing. They're not wearing masks. I mean, oh, wait, but they are wearing masks. They're wearing masks to obscure their faces, not because of the Rona. They're wearing masks so they can get away with their criminality. And, you know, this week, again, I'm trying to keep this somewhat civilized. I'm about to cuss up a blue streak, and I don't like to do that on my channel, so I'm not gonna start today, but it's really hard. These tyrants, these fanatical leftists who want everybody to fall in line with their groupthink and fall in line with their echo chamber and their confirmation bias, and if you don't, you are targeted for destruction, and that isn't a lie. That is not a lie at all. So many people have lost their jobs for simply having a contrary opinion to a leftist. And what really pisses me off is that all these stupid woke celebrities and politicians and corporations, for that matter. I mean, it's such a joke to say that corporations are conservative. What? Are you kidding me? So on Tuesday this week, we had this thing called hashtag Blackout Tuesday. And so every teenage girl in America was putting a black square over their face on Insta. And all the celebrities had a blackout on their social media pages. Not me, because I'm not an idiot sheep. Because all these stupid idiots are doing is virtue signaling. They're like, oh my God, look at me. I'm acknowledging my privilege. I'm gonna kneel down in front of you like a little bitch and tell you how much white privilege I have. Please don't kill me. Please don't hurt me. This is so absurd on every level. This country, America, is the best country in the world. And if it wasn't, we wouldn't have all kinds of people from all over the world trying to break into it every day. We would not have people who spend years of their lives and thousands of dollars to come here legally to become American citizens and who understand what freedom really is because they escaped hellholes. And when I want to say to Black Lives Matter, and a while back, YouTube took down one of my Black Lives Matter videos because I asked simple questions like, are you approving of the cops getting murdered in Dallas? But they didn't like that on our overlords at YouTube didn't like that. And I'll tell you, it's gotten 100 times worse. So this might be memory hold too. But here's what I want to say to these stupid Black Lives Matter apologists. Black Lives Matter, who is now rich again, flush with cash. Antifa, who has all this money given to them, all this organization from leftists. And I think arrests are coming, by the way. But Black Lives Matter only cares about certain Black lives. Have you noticed that? Have you heard anybody in Black Lives Matter talk about the 5 Black people that were killed during the protests? 2 of them police officers. One, a man named David Dorn, who, if you've seen the video, it is the most heartbreaking thing you've ever seen. Yeah, George Floyd's death was real hard to watch. But you know what else was hard? Watching David Dorn, who was a police officer for 38 years, and he was called in by a friend to help guard his pawn shop, and he was shot point blank by a thug, looting, animal criminal. And that person will probably never get caught because no one wants to snitch, right? No, we don't want no snitches to help David Dorn out. Because you got to be in solidarity with Black Lives Matter. Because if you don't, you're a racist. But again, not every Black Lives Matter. You want to talk to any African immigrant that has come here legally? I'll tell you what they think of you, Black Lives Matter. They think you're violent clowns. They are embarrassed at the behavior at so many Black people in this country. The black community that has been suckled on the teat of the Democrat Party for 60 years, for 50 years, 60 years, however long it's been since the Great Society, when Lyndon B. Johnson said, I'm going to have you N-words voting Democratic for next 200 years. They took away your fathers. They ruined your schools. They ruined your communities. And you know what they gave you? They gave you some crumbs. And then they threatened to take away your crumbs if you don't vote for them. You see how that works? Do you want to be a slave or do you want to be free? And I really think that that's where we're at in this country. And I will take any person of any nationality, of any ethnicity, of any race, gender, religion, whatever. If they love the American dream and they understand the promise of America, you come on, you're on our side. If you're a violent, filthy, Orwellian, psychotic leftist who seeks to destroy people who don't agree with you, you can F right off. You can F right off. And I'm telling you right now, I'm sick of these people. I want a divorce. And I think we are very near the tipping point where we're going to start having to have a serious discussion about divorce proceedings between blue states, red states. And let's just see which states are going to thrive once the divorce happens. Spoiler alert, it won't be the blue states. And we will not allow one single person that chose to stay in a blue state to come over to our side. Never, ever, ever. You're going to be like ISIS brides in Syria, begging to come back, begging to go to Texas or Oklahoma or Florida or any of the free states of America. And you know what we're going to say? Nope, you're not coming back. And you know what else? We're going to elect Donald Trump our president, and we'll take the Constitution as is, and you can write your woke Constitution all day long, invite all the illegal immigrants, have no police force, give everyone free money, which is not free money and which will dry out very quickly, and you will have lords and the serfs, and the Hollywood celebrities and the rich will be the lords, and they will have private security, and the rest of you are screwed. But if that's the world you want, bring it on, because I'm tired of dealing with you people. And you know what else before I leave? If you do not know the history of the French Revolution, because a lot of leftists are running around saying, this is just like the Tea Party. No, it is not like the Tea Party. The colonists did not murder, loot, pillage, scream racism all the time for no reason. No. This is the French Revolution. This is off with their heads stuff. This is Robespierre. And if you're not familiar with the French Revolution, you should familiarize yourself with it, because that's where we are at, America. And I don't want to have anything to do with these people. I don't want to have anything to do with people that tell other people to kneel in front of them to apologize for the skin color of which they have no control over. I do not want to live in a country with people like that who think that black people are inferior to them. So we have to give them handouts and we have to give them affirmative action because, Whitey has oppressed them for so long, right? LeBron James, millionaire, woke billionaire, making $1 billion for dribbling a ball. Oh yeah, you're real oppressed. You're real oppressed. Give me a break. I've had it with you people. I don't want to live in the same country with you people. And as far as I'm concerned, the divorce cannot happen soon enough. That's all I have for this week. One more thing. At the rally the other day in Houston, with the disgusting race hustlers, Al Sharpton, Sheila Jackson Lee, and Al Green up there blaming Trump for this, blaming white America, blaming slavery, whatever. They were so disgusting, such race hustlers, such race pimps. And you know who else came out and was dignified and called for calm? Was George Floyd's family. They were the only human beings on that stage that day. You hear me, you filthy leftists? I'm done with you. I'm done with you. You can kiss my ass, all of you. Until next time, America. I usually say don't drop dead of the Rona, but since Corona's over, I guess, don't drop dead by some Antifa or Black Lives Matter protester. See you next week. Bye.